India is one of the mega diverse countries in the world, which is contributing 2.4% of total geographical area, and it is having an 8% of the biodiversity. Hello everyone, welcome to Law Excellence. This is Pratyusha. In this session, we're going to discuss about the IUCN and the National Red List Assessment. Now, when we see in the news, we have been observed that the India has started its own National Red List Assessment 2025 to 2030. Now, in this one, we already know that IUCN is the one which has been representing the red list, where we have the classification of the species are being present. Now, similar like that, national level, we are trying to create one red list assessment. Now, this is where we have the different objectives, aims that are being present to this assessment. First, when we see this assessment is being trying to create, to integrate red list system for identifying, classifying and also conserving the Indian threatened species, and also we are trying to align it with the IUCN red list. Now, when we see which are the organizations that have been involved in the making of the red list and which department is being present, first we have the Geological Survey of India, Botanical Survey of India, then the IUCN Indian branch, and also the Center for the Species Survival of India. Now, these are the organizations that have been involved in making up the red list of the national level. Now, when you see what is a major aim, its major aim is to coordinate science-based system for species assessment and evidence-based conservation planning, not just following the IUCN red list. We're trying to make sure that we will have a national red list assessment has been done through the scientific process with the help of AI, with the help of the geospatial technologies that are being present. Then second, we have fulfilling India's commitment to the conservation of the biodiversity and also Kunming-Montreal global work frameworks that are being there. Now, in these two also, we have committed for the conservation of the biodiversity. Now, through this, we are trying to fulfill our goals in these two frameworks. Then we have key features. Now, what is present in this red list assessment? First thing is that we're going with the multi-taxa coverage. It's not just the species, but multi-taxal level also. We're trying to make sure the assessment is being done where flora and fauna is being done, terrestrial, marine is also being done, and we are trying to publish the National Red Data Book for flora and fauna by 2030. 2030, we will be producing our national red list book will be released. Then this is a collaborative works between the taxonomists, scientists and the policy makers. Now let's see what is this IUCN, and recently we have seen in the news that the IUCN also has been publishing the red list. Now, accordingly, in this red list, 12 species were being mentioned in India where the positions have been changed, where 8 species have been downlisted in that position and 4 species have been uplifted. It means that more endangeredness has been there, highlighted 4 different species. And in this session, we're going to discuss about the 4 species. Why we have been discussing this? Now, why this is important? Majority of the competitive exam are focusing on the changes that have been occurring in this red list and the species that have been present in news. And UPSC also has a trend of asking one species, the background, the different behavioral that has been present. Now, this is the trend that has been following. So, this session will be enhancing the species of the environmental topic. Now, let's see what is an IUCN for the basics. It is an international union for conservation. It is the International Union for Conservation of the Nature, the authority where it has been going with the conservation of the species, and this will be producing the red list. It's a comprehensive inventory where the extinction risk of the plants and animals are being highlighted. Now, this also will be a critical indicator for the health of the world's biodiversity. Now, we have different amount of divisions have been present. For example, extinct has been there. Extinct and wild has been present. Endangered, critically endangered, vulnerable species, near vulnerable, near threatened species, least concern. Now, these are the different divisions that have been present in the IUCN. Now, let's see the India's perspective of the IUCN list that is being present. Now, in this you can see the India, we are having the flora species. When we see there are around large amount of flora species have been present, and we are trying to estimate 11,000 extinction risk flora species in our national red list. Then when we come towards the fauna, India is having approximately 1,04,561 documented species are being present, and of these species, when we see 7,516 species have been assessed and 13.4% of them are threatened, either critically endangered or vulnerable in nature. Now this is where the importance is being given. This is where the conservation projects, policies, etc. has been done to protect these species. Now in the recent IUCN list, 4 different species have been given. We will be learning about them now. The first one we have here is the Indian wolf. Now when we see the Indian wolf that is being present, now it is as considered as the potential distinct species that are being present, and this distinct species has been given in the genus of Canis, similar towards the dog species that are being present. Now under this has been there, and we have seen that the Indian wolf have been predominantly present in India, and also small parts of Pakistan has been there. And now recently with this assessment, it has been stated that the Indian wolf has been coming up with the vulnerable in nature. It means that the population has been decreasing in the last decade. Now this population decrease has to be stopped so that the concern and the risk of the extinction will be stopped. Now this is where when you see only 12.4% of the distribution lies within the protected areas, and majority of it is not being protected. Now the conservation measures are very critical for the protecting of the species. Now when you see the next one, we have the lesser florican. Now when we see this lesser florican that has been there, it is called as the grass peacock, where the population has been reduced drastically, and now it has been estimated that there are only 150 to 200 individuals that are being present. And this is very important, where we have the behavioral wise. When we see this peacock has done with the monsoon courtship displays, where the peacock will be doing a monsoonal dance for the courtship of the female peahen, and this species is now being listed under the critically endangered species. Now why this critically endangered? Because concerns, reasons have been given. First thing, their large amount of threat is due to the loss due to habitat, due to the agriculture, overgrazing and mechanization farming, and conservation processes are still underway. Only 150 and 200 species are being present, and if we don't conserve it, now this will be coming under the extinct species. Then next one, we have the Indian roller. Now Indian roller is also called as the Neelkanta, that's been there, and it is very sacred, very much importance is being given in the Hindu traditions. And now this has been reclassified. Before it was in the classification of the least concern. Now the classification has been changed towards a near red list. Now what happened? In the last 12 years, around 30% of the population decline has been seen in India. That's what the change in the categorization has been seen. And this is basically due to the habitat loss, pesticide exposure, illegal trade, and still the conservationists have been advocating to have the new project, conservation projects into the Indian roller. Then last, fourth one, we have is the Indian courser. Now these also is being an endemic to Indian subcontinent, and it's a bird has been downlisted from the least concern towards a near threatened. It means that the population here also are been decreasing. The Indian courser has also been, the population has been declining in nature. Now what happens whenever a species is being coming under the IUCN red list? Now it has been indicating that these species have been decreasing. There's large amount of habitat loss has been occurred, or else we have to go for the conservation policies in these species. The nations will be going with the different policies, different conservations, different in the Wildlife Protection Act, we might include it in the different sections. Now this is where the conservation will be going on. Now this is how it will be helping us in the policy formation. That is why it's very important for us to go for the national red list assessment and also the IUCN data for the conservation of the biodiversity. Thank you everyone.